come to join the team to fight the Avenging Spore Machines. Let's go! It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Don't they know we'll find a way? Power Rangers are here to stay. Yeah, yeah. Go! Go! Is anybody out there? Yes, we are! Can anybody hear me? Yes, we can! Shout out loud, roll together and stand our ground. Let's go! If they try to take us, get in here! They're never gonna break us. We are here! We're fighting for the survival of humankind. Power Rangers! RPM! Power Rangers! RPM! RPM, go, go! RPM. Even in a world of hope, the dark and light, the evil vengeance has a plan. We got to fight. It's gonna be machine or man. We got to stop them, and we can. Go, 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 go! Let's go! Go, Power Rangers, RPM. Get a gear with RPM. We've got the power to defend humanity's last stand. Go Power Rangers, RPM. Get a gear with RPM. We'll keep on fighting to the end. Go, go, go! Power Rangers, RPM. Go, go! Power Rangers, go! Power Rangers, go! Man first machine, decide the future of humanity. Vengeance network spreading fear. Power Rangers getting gear. Let's dance, beat the hands. Power Rangers. Go, 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 go. Rangers are saving humanity against vengeance and the evil machine. RPM, getting gear. RPM, destroying fear. RPM, Power Rangers, go, 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 go. Power Rangers, RPM, Power Rangers, go, 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 go.
Hello there! How are we all doing? Welcome to the session 0/pilot episode session, I guess, of Power Rangers Cyber Strike. You're all well? So just a little overview of what's going to happen here. We're not going to get straight into the game. It's going to be a little bit of like an overview of the story itself, without giving too much away, and introducing the players and the characters. So I'm going to unmute now Discord, and hopefully everyone is here. All in the games. Hey, howdy, hey ho.
Hello there.
Hey, howdy, hey ho.
Hello.
Hopefully, we should be able to hear you. So yes, as I said, welcome to the first session of Power Rangers Cyber Strike. I've been planning this for roughly 2 months. Actually, I've been planning it a long time, but of course the material didn't come out. Yeah, I had this project. Introducing the players. We have our Yellow Ranger, Cryptic Cyanogen.
Moshi and all that. How y'all doing?
We have our Blue Ranger, played by DeLuna13.
What is up, everybody?
And our resident Red Ranger, played by Chocolate Zombie.
Hey guys, how's it going?
So I will allow them to talk about their characters and stuff after I've done this. So if you are unfamiliar with Power Rangers as a whole, do not worry. You will not have need no you won't have any need of watching the TV series or reading the comic books because this particular game is going to be set in an alternate universe that takes elements from the Boom Studio Comics modern telling of the Power Rangers series. If you haven't read any of those books, I highly recommend it. Very, very good. Brings Power Rangers into like the modern 2000s. In fact, it's established in those comic books that the 90s Power Rangers is actually set in a alternate universe where time doesn't stretch, which is fucking hilarious to me. Still,
It's actually amazing that they did that because it was like
That is totally tubular.
Forever 21, but instead it's Forever 90s.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. In fact, they did a whole comic. They did like Forever Red in the in the TV show, but they've done like little nods to all the other colors of the Morphing Grid spectrum, and in Forever Black, modern day Zack met 90s Zack.
I believe just recently they actually did a Forever Pink in the comics.
They did, yes. Forever Pink was a nod. Pretty good. And then they're moving into the next stage of that story now, I think. But yes, I am going to be taking elements from the Boom Studios comic canon. So yeah, it's gonna be you're gonna hear references to like other Ranger teams that you may not have heard of because they've only been established in the comic book universe. And
The Die Rangers.
yeah, canonically in the comic book universe, the very first team of Power Rangers, known as the Squadron Rangers. There's also the Supersonic Rangers, who will probably play a part in this story, if at least one of them, and so on and so forth. You can look it up on the Wikipedia. I'll provide links as and when if I fancy it. But yes, so if you would like to introduce your characters, we will start with Cryptic, the Yellow Ranger. No Tokyuja, unfortunately. This is Power Rangers, not Super Sentai, although I really did enjoy Tokyuja. Funny. Using the very first orange ring. Yes, Cryptic, take it away. Who is your character?
All right, I play Arrow, the Yellow Ranger, and he is a teacher turned survivor and caretaker. He is in charge of looking after his students and making sure that they get through this conflict okay.
Luna, do you wanna? It's all about
yes,
Mr. Blue.
yes. I play Nova. He is a before everything that Twitch is about to say happened. He was just a normal he worked at a fruit stand and he wanted to be like an entertainer, so he just kept playing like random stuff that he found, made like a drum set just to get people to buy it or buy all the stuff from his stand. And now he's been basically trying to survive the rest of the time.
Finally, a little brief introduction from our Red Ranger.
Hi, I will be playing Marika Hammond, our resident Red Ranger. She pretty much is basically a kind of a career soldier. Grew up in a military family, military brat, been all over bases, all over whatever the galactic military is in this particular setting. Uh, and pretty much at the start of the story, she's pretty much just a routine soldier.
Yes, you heard it here first. Our Red Ranger is a female. We have a female, quote unquote, leader, because the Red Ranger is always the leader. Fuck you, White Ranger.
Because they don't make enough of them in the actual series.
Lauren Sheba was.
Yes,
Yes.
as well
So.
as their counterpart.
So. That's the basic overview. I will, before we start, well, as the game starts, Tommy would like to know my location. Hey, dude's not called Tommy anymore. Said so himself. He's moving on from Power Rangers. It's Legend of the White Dragon. Anyway, enough of that. Totally a Power Rangers. Anyway. Yes. So like I said, this will be based. It's an overarching story and stuff like that. I have stuff planned, but as everyone knows, in Dungeons and Dragons / tabletop RPGs, the game master can plan till the cows come home, and they'll probably want to go talk to Bumbo, the hooded goblin that's sitting at the bar.
Yes, the DM forgets that he is playing with chaos kittens.
He is. Yeah. So, is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, let us begin. This right? Maybe.
I have the perfect tagline for whenever we resume sessions.
Can everyone hear that?
Yep, I hear it.
Chat, can you hear that? I hope you can, because faintly. Okay, that's fine. So, here we go. In the war against Dark Spectre and his forces, many planets and civilizations have fallen victim to the endless onslaught of the March of Evil. In an attempt to stay the ever-moving forces of darkness, many planets' top scientific minds came together to harness the energy of the Morphing Grid, an all-encompassing power that transcends space and time that has forever served as the power source for an elite fighting force known as the Power Rangers. Dark Spectre and the United Alliance of Evil have been fought to a standstill by the varying forces of good, but supplies and morale are running low, and calls for help have failed thus far. In a bid to fight back, scientists from many worlds have come together to create a special strike team to turn the tides. This Ranger project was designed for one singular purpose: take the fight directly to the forces of the UAE, be it through guerrilla tactics or fighting on the front lines. Combining the technologies from these multiple civilizations, the Power Rangers Cyber Strike stand ready to fight and take back that which the forces of evil seek to subjugate and destroy. The scene, hands down, to reveal a space station. Deep in the aspects of... deep in the reaches of space, orbiting a vibrant planet not unlike that of KO-35. As the scene develops, a space freighter is seen flying into one of the docking bays of the space station. And out of this space freighter walks many refugees from the latest unfortunate raid of the UAE. On this space freighter is Arrow. I believe that's your character's name, Cryptic Arrow. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Is Arrow leading a group of his students, trying to keep them calm as various soldiers take them into the cargo bay, and as you look around you see pretty much ramshackle living quarters. Like, this space station is not equipped for housing refugees, but because of the ongoing war and being pushed back to the very breaking point of everything, the latest raids on the various planets have utterly decimated supplies and everything. So you are here. What do you do, Arrow?
Arrow is going to look around and ask about about rations and whatnot, and just necessities for his students, like what all is being provided, what can he expect at the moment.
As you ask this, you are approached by 3 soldiers, one led by Marika.
Yeah. She'll kind of just walk up and kind of see this group of, probably, I'm assuming, like elementary, potentially high school children, and just kind of like begin to direct traffic in a sense, kind of like point them to where the quarters are. Assuming Arrow would ask her about, would be asking about rations and whatnot, she would kind of just give a generic military answer of, we'll get them to you when we get you settled in and stabilized.
Very well. How's the water source here?
It does the job. It's the best way we can describe it, honestly.
As you're having this conversation, there are other refugees stumbling past you with belongings that they managed to get from whatever planet it is they do. And as the one shuttle leaves, another 2, you can see one enter. As the first shuttle that you arrived on leaves, one is waiting to land at the platform, and as you look over, there's another one landing as well. And it's just a complete influx of wounded military and other refugees coming out. It's not the prettiest of scenes, and you as Marika says that another person comes over, whispers something in your ear, Marika, about a meeting that is happening, that your presence is required.
She'll kind of make a nod and dismiss herself.
The other soldiers then lead you, Cryptic, with your students to a small corner of the hangar that has got kind of had like storage crates and boxes piled up to like put water off like that. There's beds, there's something like that, and you can see there's already another occupant there. A man wearing a blue bandana. And that is Nova. What is it you are doing, Nova?
He's looking over like any like ship, like any like a book or anything that he might have near him. That's like just basically trying to get his mind anywhere from the refugee area. Oh, hey. Latest arrivals, huh?
Yeah, it was a little bit rough getting here. Almost lost a few on the way. Thank God I didn't.
Good fortune to those who survived. The shuttle I was on wasn't so lucky. We should be safe here, though.
Should be. I'm a teacher by trade.
For all this, I was just wanting to live life, have fun, play drums. Just goddamn the UAE.
Yep.
Nova.
Hopefully these. Oh, Arrow.
Let's shake hands, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. He's got a firm handshake, and Arrow, when you look at him, has very kind eyes that look a little bit haunted.
To describe Nova, this man looks raggedy. Like, he looks like he had, like his clothes are clean and all that. Like, he looks like he's been able to get a shower, but he has, like, a huge thick beard and really long hair. And it looks like that's not what his normal look. Keep those kids of yours safe.
Yeah,
Don't let them.
I'm hoping that I'm still trying to get radio control, see if I can contact their parents if they even made it off the damn.
Just for prosperity's sake, they would have arrived at a separate shuttle.
Yeah, I'm just watching over these guys till their parents arrive. And in the case of those that don't, I've got a duty of care.
Okay. As you are conversing, other refugees are, so like I said, some of the said parents come to find their kids escorted by members of the security personnel and some of the soldiers. The scene pans up to a control room where there are various members of certain races from all around the world discussing the latest events. Marika, as you enter the room, you come across I can never remember the name of the race, but standing quite tall is a blue dog-like creature.
Yeah.
Hey, I know who that is.
A Nubian, I think?
Nubians, yeah, I think so, yeah. This is Commander Kruger, who started up the very first squadron of Space Patrol Delta. This was before they had access to the morphing grid, and in this story, SPD still does not. They are an intergalactic police force turned militia because of the ever-growing onslaught of the United Alliance of Evil. It's a very young Commander Kruger, not the one that you would know from SPD. And alongside him is an old-looking man with a gem in the middle of his forehead. You would know this man is from the planet Edenoi, home of Prince Dax, the masked rider. And you are addressed as such by Doggy Kruger. Thank you for coming, soldier.
I was told that somebody wanted to meet me here.
Yes.
Assuming it was you, Commander.
Yes, this is Professor Dexion, related to the Prince and King of Edenoi.
And
He-
into what manner does he pay us his presence?
Professor Dexion turns to you and says that, as you know, we have been accumulating data and technology to give us a new edge in this ever-growing battle. Attempts to reach out to other sources have, of course, been hindered. We received this transmission from one Zordon of Eltar, and he points to one of the operators, and a transmission plays, and it an image of a large glowing blue head comes up, and it's in reply to the various helps, and he says, "We are unfortunate to your plight. However, the Power Rangers cannot abandon their post here on Earth, as we cannot allow Lord Zed to gain a foothold in any part of the galaxy. Although his affiliation to the UAE is non-existent, we cannot allow the forces of evil to gain any stronghold anywhere. I am sorry. May the power protect you." Similar transmission comes from the planet Aquitar, where the Equation Rangers are unable to assist you, as they too are dealing with endless attacks from members of the UAE. Doggy Kruger turns back, addresses the room. "We are all obviously severely outnumbered and outgunned, but the professor has been working on a new Ranger project. Marika, you have been chosen as one of the candidates."
He seems a little taken aback, kind of raises an eyebrow. May I ask why?
As you ask this, he presses a couple of like buttons and stuff, and then a holo projector comes up. That you're a career soldier. Your exploits are very well known, and you've managed to hold yourself together in these very trying times. Couldn't have done better myself.
She kind of bows slightly, but then returns her form.
Of course, the rest of the Ranger candidates have yet to be picked, as there are not... This is... Sorry. Oh, pardon me. Other Ranger candidates have not yet been picked, and as such, the program will not be launched until we can, but times are desperate. Do you have any questions?
She thinks about it for a second. If it would be so bold of me to ask, what would be the statistics of launching the program as a single Ranger unit?
Categorically, I could not condone sending a single soldier into fight. However, there has been reports that the Astro Rangers have been successful in multiple man guerrilla tactic missions. However, we have since lost contact with them since the sacking of KO-35. At this, of course, up on the holographic, you see the Power Rangers in space, otherwise known as the Astro Rangers. Or with the sign MIA on them.
Where's their last known location?
Their last known location was on a planet not too far from the front lines, although we lost contact with them almost 3 weeks ago. Been unsuccessful in contacting them since.
Try to figure out what would be a role to think about, like how bold she wants to be, because my idea is like she kind of like still like sternly kind of looks and says, "You could just send me. I wouldn't engage, but at the very least I could scout. At least get an eye on them if we could find them."
I guess Professor Dexian just shakes his head and it's like, no, impossible. The Ranger project itself is based off of a cyber network. It would work far better with a full team. Until 2 other Ranger candidates are found, it is inadvisable to launch the project. And then
Understandable.
Kruger then looks at it. I understand your eagerness. However, we cannot afford to make mistakes at such times. Take some time to think upon this. Let us know your answer. You're dismissed.
She looked like she was about to say something, but then hearing she was dismissed, just nods and kind of gives a salute and begins to probably walk back to her post.
As you leave, Kruger kind of sighs and like his shoulders slump. He turns to the professor and asks, "Is like, do we have a chance?" Dexian himself is busying himself around with some panels and other stuff. He makes the comment of, "We have assembled the greatest minds from some of the greatest civilizations. I myself have used technology from our very own Masked Rider and that of Zordon of Eltar. And although the Eltarian Empire has not been able to send any of their protectors here, there are some who have been able to help. This will work, Commander. It has to." And as the camera again pans out, and we are then met with a scene as Marika, as you're walking through the various, you see makeshift stalls that have been set up for like trading. There's people queuing to get on the latest freighter to, well behind enemy lines. You notice that it's a lot of rich-looking people who are getting first-class, what passes as first-class treatment. People haggling as you make your way towards one of the hangars. And meanwhile, at said hangar, Nova and Arrow's gaggle of school children now being thinned out a little bit more. You are met with an odd-looking fellow who comes into the living quarter. He's got his hood up. Seems a bit skitterish, mumbling to himself. Nova, you would know this person as he's been there for a couple of days. But he's never given you a name. Kind of just speaks in tongues, sort of. Never really showing his face.
Troubles you, friends.
He kind of looks up at you and just kind of like waves up some things he's managed to scavenge from around the space station, and and pulls out a box from underneath his makeshift cot. Starts putting it inside.
Got a good haul today, looks like.
He kind of nods, and then he he looks up, he sees Arrow and the school children. And he kind of pulls his hood tighter around his face.
Relax. You're among friends here. I'm Arrow, by the way.
He kind of regards you for a second, kind of looks at Nova.
I'll tell you personally, no, or Arrow. Been asking him for about 2 weeks now, and he still hasn't given me a name.
Kind of
Maybe not so much a name, but a smile or a nod will do just fine.
he kind of gives you like a frantic sort of nod as he keeps mumbling some sort of stuff. Pulls out like he looks at some of the kids as the kids look a bit taken aback by him. As he pulls out like what can be described as a children's toy, but it's like it's heavily like it's burnt. It's it's looks like it's been put together quite haphazardly by a junker or whatever, and he kind of like holds it out.
Arrow will take it and see if he can figure out how to work it. Just to make sure it's safe.
It's literally just like a Raggedy Ann doll, but made out of space parts.
I'll look at the youngest of the children and hand it to her.
The figure kind of like does a little clap like that, and you can see like as he does like the hood like kind of falls back a little bit, and you catch a glimpse of a smile of a very heavily burnt looking individual before he kind of like turns around and then goes back to like muttering about with his stuff. What do you to Arrow and Nova do currently?
The war's been hard on all of us, it seems.
Keep the faith where you can, though. Especially since you have your class to look after. I don't think they'd much care for seeing sad faces around here, would they?
No, but he may not have given us his name, but he's a good man, a kind man, and the galaxy could use a lot more of him.
On that, we agree.
As you are conversing and so like that, the soldiers, once more, being led by Marika, turn up in the docking bay as the bay doors are now shut. There's no more shuttles coming into that one. They've brought food and supplies to everyone that's staying in that section of the hangar. That section of the station, I should say.
Do I see I'm guessing the junk, I'll call him the junk collector.
Yeah, you see him.
Has he been here long enough that the majority of the soldiers probably know who he is?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like he's completely harmless.
Okay.
He's there. He's just, again, he's one of the unfortunate souls that seems to be less than coherent.
Okay. She'll kind of like probably like the smaller, the younger soldier that was kind of like tailing behind her. She'll kind of like pull her aside real quick and point to him and say, "Try to take a little bit better care of him. We've all been hit hard by this."
The soldier kind of nods, as he grabs the rations. sets about doing their job as way, just like the people, like, you know, they're people are, they're not scrambling, but they're like trying to get as much as they can.
Yeah.
You know, and of course you are, you know, doling it out as and when, trying to take control of it.
Probably we're just trying to make things as even as possible.
Yeah, 100%. As this is happening, a broadcast comes over the space station. The broadcasted title entails updates about what's happened and the latest planets that have unfortunately fallen to the the United Alliance of Evil. Of course, Nova, you know all too well this feeling of after the sacking of KO-35. The planet of Triforia is the latest safe haven planet to fall. After the Gold Ranger was unsuccessful in fending off the invasion, they were taken by surprise by party patrollers, as they were. These are clay golems, as it were, that can shapeshift and take the form of other things. They are quite versatile, famously used by the witch Rita Repulsa, daughter of Master Vile. This science has been adapted by Dark Spectre, and they make up pretty much the bulk of his frontline forces. They are mindless drones to be sent in and are extremely expendable in many of the UAE's general's eyes. The other planet to fall is the home planet of the Prism Rangers. If you don't know who the Prism Rangers are, they are the... I believe in Super Sentai they are... Goggle? Something?
Yeah, Goal 5.
Goggle 5, yeah. In Boom Studios canon, they are the Prism Rangers. Sadly, there are 3 confirmed fatalities. That being Prism 1, 3 and 2. That's the red, pink, and yellow, I believe.
Hearing that another Red Ranger has fallen, Marika would probably have a slightly more concerned look on her face.
Whereas the remaining 2 Rangers have also become MIA. They are assumed also destroyed. Didn't say this was going to be a light-hearted Power Rangers campaign.
Oh no!
Power
Maybe we
Rangers needs its darkness.
But oh no, Rangers that we had never heard of died.
Off screen.
Also-
Da-da-da-da.
Also, the Prism Rangers apparently are Flashman, not Goggle.
Flashman, that's the one. Not Goggle 5. Yeah, Goggle 5 are a different team. Yes. Hearing that, there's a lot of like despair. You even see some members of that planet who escaped are very much distraught at the fact that that has happened. And also, of course, there is no confirmed anything of Triforia. the Gold Ranger has not been confirmed missing and or dead, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
It is believed that he managed to escape before being captured, which then, of course, gives a lot of hope to people who are from Triforia.
Here's a question: since Noah's been there, I'm assuming for a couple weeks and not a couple months, would he know about about the Power Ranger or some different plans and stuff like that?
You'd have picked up some stuff from like people from like the other like the soldiers and the security personnel talking. You even picked up word again of the Astro Rangers, seeing as they are from KO-35.
I was gonna say, like, if nothing else, he would at least know who they are, wouldn't he? Because
yeah, he'd know of them, but he wouldn't know them personally.
yeah, because I would assume that he the party that he was with that escaped KO-35 was saved probably by them.
Yeah, 100%. So the Astro Rangers, during the sacking of KO-35, they helped a lot of people escape. But the planet was essentially, it was a tactical retreat, a tactical evacuation of everyone they could, and KO-35 being an industrial planet full of, where basically a lot of like spaceships and weaponry and all that kind of stuff was made. It was a very heavy loss to, the forces of good, we'll call them, because they don't have like a united sort of thing. It isn't, now that it's falling into the hands of Dark Spectre, it's like, they have resources to basically create and do whatever they want. And unfortunately, anyone who was left there, well, they're going to be forced to do labor against their will.
Let's say, assuming that there's probably like visual broadcasts, assuming along with audio, if Marika probably sees a shot of like the Putty Patroller, she'd kind of just like, if there was like a stack of crates or whatever, she'd probably just be leaning against them and just like under her breath in Japanese, she'd probably just say, no matter how many times we kill them, they just keep coming back.
Yeah, there's again, there's like holo terminals and like TVs and stuff around the space station. There are pictures of stuff. In other news, as the broadcast goes, there is some other news that comes through. And it's news of a different Ranger team making contact with the greater army, the one that's on the front lines, which is known as it's supposed to be the Altarian Empire, but it's like a ramshackle. In my universe, it's not the full might of the Altarian Empire. It's some of their protectors and other soldiers and stuff that are together fighting on the front lines and whatnot. Another Ranger team turned up with them, and if I remember correct, was the surviving members of the Supersonic Rangers. In the Boom Studio canon, the Supersonic Rangers were tricked by their Green Ranger into a trap laid by Dark Spectre. In my universe, the same thing happened, however, the Red Ranger was the only one to perish. The other members managed to escape, but the Green Ranger became the very first Psycho Ranger, Psycho Green. And he is one of the leading generals of the United Alliance of Evil, because Dark Spectre finally had his own Power Ranger and access to the morphing grid. If you didn't know, Dark Spectre is actually from the Morphing Grid. He's a being that lived outside of time and space. That was explained in Power Rangers Universe, the comic book series, which introduced the Squadron Rangers, who later became the emissaries. More on that later. Alongside this, there is a message from the Phantom Ranger, who is also a product of the Morphing Grid. No one really knows how old he is. No one really knows where he comes from. I know where he comes from. He's also been around since the Squadron Ranger time. He was known as the Morphonaut. He was a guy, he literally, using technology from what they called the Master Arch, he went into the Morphing Grid and he literally got torn apart and then put back together. It's kind of like Dr. Manhattan in a way. He became a part of the Morphing Grid, and he was forever stuck inside that suit. You guys remember the Phantom Ranger from Turbo?
Yeah. Is that what his is?
Yeah. That's his origin story was explained in the comic books. That he was a scientist. He was like, I want to explore the Morphing Grid. He did, got stuck, became a complete part of it, and now it's like, and now he fights. His sole mission is to fight Dark Spectre, not the army, not the UAE in total, but anything Dark Spectre does, he's like, right, I need to fight against this, and he's old friends with Zordon, and that's another story.
Go read the comics, kids. They're really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Boom Studios doesn't sponsor this stream, but if they did, we'd be showing them a whole lot more.
Oh,
Yes.
Lord Draken did nothing wrong. Anyway, no, he did a lot wrong.
But yeah. I was gonna say, no, that is not true.
Yeah. But yes, after these announcements, of course, again, everything's been laid out. There's like a murmur comes over everything, and then close by to where you three are, of course, getting the supplies like that, you see a group of like soldiers who, one of them's wounded, one of them looks a bit like one is quite grizzled, and you hear them talking about like how basically they've been abandoned. What good are the Rangers? What good are all this kind of stuff? Like, it doesn't freaking matter. Even one of them even name drops again Zordon. Marika, you recognize this guy as one of the higher ranking officials. Soldiers. He's like, it doesn't even matter. Why are we even doing this? What are you?
All three of us hear this?
Yeah. You like that. What use are the Power Rangers anyway? Anyone who stands up to dogs.
Power Rangers saved my life and the life of anybody that was on Cable 35 that day.
You want to talk about what use it is? The use is to keep the war from reaching them. And Arrow is going to point at the children behind him. It is our job as adults to protect them. Oh, buck up or fuck off. I don't care which.
The soldier, quite tall, rather intimidating, he kind of just laughs.
Did I hear that?
Yeah, you would have heard it. It's happening.
Continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no. He kind of laughs. He like stands up, but he kind of like just points at the two of you. What the hell would you know about it? Take a look. He kind of like points to his face, and there's like the scars over his kind of like that one, like there's one really nasty looking one across his neck. Compliments of Dark Spectre's generals themselves. Some green looking motherfucker.
At this point, Mariko would actually start walking up to this particular conversation.
Yes, but you survived, which means that Lucky's on your side somehow. So be grateful for that.
That's got nothing to do with it, boy.
Luck has everything to do with it, in my experience.
So at that point, like, the soldiers again just laugh and like again they now it's like they're kind of like encroaching on you. And
At
then
this point, Mariko would actually put a hand on the big guy's shoulder. They're not bothering you, are they?
No. I think that it was kind of funny that they thought they could try to gang up on two refugees.
wait, no, sorry. Did you put on cryptic soldier or the soldiers? Sorry,
On
shoulder.
the soldier, I put a hand on the soldier's shoulder, the big guy. And
Uh,
I was talking to him, by the way.
you were talking to cryptic.
No, I was talking to the soldier.
Oh, okay.
I would just look at him and just be like, "They're not bothering you, are they?"
No one still answers the exact same way.
Yeah, fair. The soldier kind of like laughs and says, and just shakes his head, saying, "Nah, there's two refugees who don't know what the hell they're talking about." And as he says this, he kind of like just waves his hand, and just kind of walks off with the rest of the group. And I just walk away from you.
Would I know who that is? Like, name-wise?
I have to think of a name on the spot.
And as long as you tell me, like, is he known for being a bit of like a?
Oh, he's known for being a hard ass and a bit of a pessimist. Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
That was kind of all I was wondering about.
Like-
She just kind of looks down to Nova and Arrow and just ignore him.
Real quick, would I know who Marika is at this point since I've been here a while? Like at least as like her rank or something like that.
I imagine so, by association. I've probably been here for God knows how long.
And Marika's been around. I would say Marika again is probably a captain. I would say Marika.
So she's been around for a bit.
Yeah. If I had to assign Marika something, especially if she's being considered for the Ranger project, you are.
No, it is.
Nova probably wouldn't know her like personally, but would probably like know her by face.
Yeah.
Probably just
I know. Like I was like
jargon.
No one will just look up at her and go, "Find a lot of soldiers you got there, Captain."
She kind of just lets out a huff.
Get my brashness, but the purpose of this godforsaken asteroid was to keep us all nice and happy, right?
She just sighs. If that's what you want to believe, then sure. At this point, all it's here for is just so we can survive just another day, and hope to God that this thing doesn't get attacked and blown up by Dark Spectre's forces.
Unfortunately, that's all we can do. So
Just watch what you say around everyone. I'm not going to back you or otherwise, but just be mindful.
above game real quick, like because I never got an answer for you. How many years has it been since KO-35 fell? Or how many months?
I would say it's been about 9 months. You've had multiple. You've had multiple opportunities to be ferried off to a different to a safe haven, to another planet that's like outside of the UAE's reach, that is protected by let's say I'm going to call them the Greater Eltarian Empire, the G. Because it's their job to protect the universe, apparently. But you've just refused, for your own reasons.
He's gonna look at her. Captain, I've been going about my own stuff for about 9 months now. You really think that if I was just in it for myself, I wouldn't have been off this rock a long time ago?
And what are you in it for?
to help win, to help fight. If you guys would actually realize that, bring me on.
She's
He
gonna
just takes it.
stop. She's gonna stop for a minute, and actually like motion for you to like, kind of like walk up. She's gonna like look around, see if there's a spot where they could like just be one on one without anybody like prying,
Hmm.
and then probably like motion for him to follow her. Once they like find like a more like kind of like off around the corner spot, she'll kind of like very hushed, not like a whisper, but a very hushed tone.
Before you do that, what's the equivalent of a listen?
Of a stealth.
Not so much a stealth, but more like a listen check.
That'd be perception, I would say.
Yeah.
But for this
there-
one,
Let's see here.
I'd say maybe infiltration.
No,
Infiltration.
I
No,
wouldn't call
infiltration is more stealth.
it that.
Maybe
Maybe alertness.
persuasion or just deception.
No, not deception. Give me an alertness check.
Where is that? Ah, okay, I see.
Both of us, right?
Yeah.
No specification or anything like that.
Mm. This is where it tits up. No.
Says input value difficulty.
Let's roll it as a normal.
Yeah, roll it as a normal.
Nova has himself a soft 20.
Hmm.
I have a 12.
Okay. Yeah. You realize that there's no one. No one's paying attention to you. If anyone glances over at what's just happened, they think it's a soldier reprimanding someone for doing something they shouldn't have done.
Okay, I mean that's all she needs. She'll just kind of like bring him over to like a kind of like an off the beaten path location and just kind of lean in and say, the Astro Rangers were reported MIA.
Heard. Word gets around these parts. Silver was the one that helped me get on that ship.
She kind of blinks. Shit, am I coming in too loud? What if I said that we might be closer to taking care of things, at least on our end? You've heard about the Ranger Project, right?
Rumors, really. You guys have found something. What the hell do I have to lose?
Well, all I know is that all I know is there's 2 more slots available. Apparently, they found one person. If you think you're up for it, I can put in a word with Kruger.
They do better than any of your soldiers. That's not a promise.
She actually smiles at that. Now you've got me curious.
Let's put it this way. I saw one of their generals destroy my home. The place I grew up in. You think I wouldn't want revenge if I could take it?
What would matter more to you in that situation, though? Your need for revenge or your need to protect?
I need to stop everybody from having the same feeling that I did. Outweighs anything I have response, honestly.
She nods. Next time I see the commander, I'll make mention.
All right. I'll hold you to that, Captain. He walks away.
Yeah, she'll just kind of like she'll try to like walk off and pretend like nothing happened, in a sense. Kind of push it off, like you said, kind of push it off as she was just like,
Yeah,
it was
no.
just like a simple reprimand.
Yeah, you passed the check. I was happy with it. Like no one
I
saw.
would think that like since I had the 20, like Nova would be like, yeah, there's someone right there. Usually they'll be able to hear us.
Yeah. No, it's completely fine. You that everyone's going about their business now. And if that's cool with everything, I'm gonna take a short bio break, if that's cool.
Yeah.
For that, I hope everyone's enjoying it so far. I know, again, there's not much rolling or anything happening because, again, session 0.
This is also like pretty much I had all of our first times using this system, with the possible exception of Cryptic.
Nope, my first time as well.
Yeah.
I was just good at helping y'all set up the character sheets.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like, alertness check? Would it be alertness? Yeah, fuck, we'll do alertness. And then they said difficulty, and I was like, fuck. Yeah, we'll do a normal difficulty one. Why not? So
We're level 1, it's fine.
Yeah.
Besides, Nova would have probably figured something out before I would have.
No, Sir Straw Hat, it's not TerraVenture, it's a nameless space station, but I am going to go get a drink, sort of like that, I'm gonna stretch my legs, I'm gonna go to the toilet. Talk amongst yourselves. I hope everyone's enjoying so far. Again, this is my first time DMing anything. And I know I've done a huge lore jump.
Stretch your water, drink your legs.
1. I know I've done
I like to say of the game, thanks for playing with me off of that one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. No, the minute you started to backtalk a soldier, I was like,
Yeah, that might have ended badly. Dude big. Dude very big.
No, like
he is meaty boy.
Dude, level 3 big.
Arrow don't care. He had to hold down he had to defend a siege against the school that he and the kids were holed up in until rescue arrived.
So yeah, just talk amongst yourselves. I will be back momentarily.
Yeah, like letting you guys know and those at home know who are watching. Hello, everybody. I'm on the chat now. But the reason, like, expect this a lot from Nova. He is going to be Mr. I'm going to trash talk you, and if you punch me, I win. He's basically the way that they played TN and DBZA.
Arrow is basically the good boy that believes that everyone else should be good boys.
Because if you watch the campaign on Tuesdays that me and Dylan are a part of, Jolt personality at twitch.tv/Burnout
Burnout
you probably have seen Zeno, our resident sorcerer, and Dylan, I think you pretty much described Nova to us as basically Zeno, but smarter.
But smarter, way more sarcastic. Basically, like if Zeno was a bard, this is how I'd be playing him. It's like if I win with my normal like I'm gonna be a bard as I always am versus hey, I'm gonna be a wild mage and just constantly trying to fuck shit up because I'm playing him as an idiot.
No, this is funny though now because now it's like, you know, you just trash talk this big ass soldier boy that's all meaty and stuff, and I come in kind of like I'm like, okay, take it easy, pull you aside. How would you like to be a ranger? And then just watch this guy's face as you show up for the Ranger project, and we both just had the biggest shit-eating grin on our faces.
Also, like, because of the fact, like I just said there, I'm like, yeah, Zeno was like Zeno. God, you mentioned it, so I was thinking about him. But Nova was saved by the Silver Ranger of the Asteroid Rangers, so it's like he holds them in a really high regard.
Yeah.
Now
you know they're
like
MIA.
A Showa suit. It looks like an Elvis suit straw hat is because I base Arrow very much on classic Showa Rangers, Ranger attires. So like the 70s and 80s.
I didn't know what time period this was going to be set in, but this is set in like modern 2000X then.
It's set in space. Also, hi, I'm back.
Hello.
Real quick, while we're talking, so I'm gonna go get some water real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Also, Marika wanting to solo that mission, I did that on purpose.
Yeah, that was like a no.
You'll understand why later.
I know I've dropped a bunch of characters onto you, real quick. It's quite a lot, I know, but again, this is nerve-wracking for me. Like I said, first time DMing anything on a system that is completely brand new. That was a fucking good
idea. Hashtag for the children.
Hashtag for the children.
Yeah, like for anyone who's just showing up, I will say that most of my knowledge of this game comes from watching Power Rangers Gladius, the tabletop run by Probate, every Wednesday. That's where a lot of my knowledge comes from.
Twitch.tv/probate, show probate.
Yeah.
Always show probate.
It's actually really good. I've been enjoying the show. Really funny. I need to catch up on last night's one though, because I was preparing for this today.
I didn't see yesterday's only or because of the fact that I was actually working with a friend of mine.
Oh, fair. Yes, if you're just joining, this is Power Rangers Cyber Strike, a project I've had in the works for a couple of months. It is based in a alternate universe of the Boom Studio comics, post Shattered Grid, which will come into play later on, maybe, probably, depending on how my mind works. And it's also set in a universe where Dark Spectre is a little... He's got more of a foothold than he does in the canon universe, in which, you know, it's not so much a stalemate, it's very much the forces of good are on the back foot. And
so it's a little bit closer to Kyu Ranger.
Yeah, more or less. And of course, it's not set on any one world, it is set in space. Because In Space is one of my favorite seasons, and I couldn't really put Cyber. I mean, I could have set it on Earth, but that's boring.
There's already at that point like 3 or 4 different Ranger teams on Earth.
Earth is the vanilla team for vanilla races.
I will say I will say that in this world on Earth, it is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. But, like I said, it is post-Shattered Grid, so Tommy... So it's not Jason, Zach, Trini, and then it is Rocky, Aisha, Adam, Billy, Kimberly, and Tommy as the White Ranger.
It's Season 2 MMPR, basically.
Yeah, it's Season 2 MMPR, but again, Boom Studio. Jason, Trini, and Zach...
They're the Omega Rangers.
Yes, they are the Omega Rangers, and they will be in this as well.
And they have a cat.
And they have a cat, yes.
Here's the question: if we were to somehow on Earth, would we see both green and white? Or are you gonna bring that as well, or is it just Tommy at this point?
It's at the moment it's just Tommy. I know there is a Green Ranger. It is Matt. There is. Again, if you're not up to date in the Boom Studio comic books, Boom Studios, if you ever see this, I'm shilling you to fuck. There is a current Ranger that is not under Zordon's control, by the name of Matthew something. He has the reactivated dragon coin that is under the control of a former Red Ranger
From the 60s.
from the 60s, yes.
And she is
Matthew
a
Cup,
fucking
thank you.
badass.
Yeah, she is. Who? What's the name of the company? It's never remember. But yeah, they're in charge. He has the updated like Green Ranger powers. He's got like a bit of he's Kimberly's ex-boyfriend now, actually. Promethea, thank you. Yeah, there's a whole like love triangle thing there. It's really weird. But yeah, he's got a cooler looking suit. He's got the dragon dagger is slightly curved at the top, and the dragon Zord is a bit more sleeker, and it can combine with the White Ranger's Zord because why not? But yeah, that's
Who knew you could introduce kinks into the Power Rangers universe?
Yeah. Is everyone back?
Galuna.
Yes, I've been here.
Okay, cool.
I'll say this real quick. Like I was telling them, like this. I'm playing Nova. Like my character is Zeno from the Tuesday campaign, but if he was a bard instead of a sorcerer,
Yeah,
so he's a little sarcastic.
that's fair. But yes, I'll continue. So, as it's not really a day-night cycle because again you're in space, but there's a rough thing of time within the system you're in. Obviously, there's been large. Of course, there are now other shuttles getting ready to transport women and children off the space station. Of course, the higher classes have already been taken care of. So now the quote-unquote working class are being... They're kind of being unceremoniously stuffed as much as they can into these places. And of course, again, the usual rigmarole. A bunch of soldiers, security guards come into the living area, Nova. They've got your paperwork and everything like that, and they kind of look at you and say, "Are you going to get on this shuttle or not?"
I'm asking Noah if he's gonna be on there.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, they the guy kind of like writes something on like the his hollow, on like the hollow pad that he's got, rolls his eyes, muttering, saying, "Why am I not surprised?" And then he kind of looks at you, Arrow, and he's like, "What are you gonna do?" And most of the kids you came here with are being transported off world now. Off station.
Yeah, but not all of them. I still have a duty of care here.
He kind of nods and says, "Well, the standard time for the kids to be, for kids to be left on the station is 1 week. If they're not, claimed by their parents, basically, or any other next of kin, they are put. They're put with essentially like an orphanage worker. I don't really have a name for it.
If that's the case, I'll claim them.
Kind of looks at you and just says, "That's not really a thing, and you'd have to work it out with station security and the higher ups. And then if that would be the case, you yourself then would have no choice but to be shipped off station with them to a safe haven, because they can't, in good conscience, keep children here. Like you'll notice that a lot of the refugees that are quote unquote permanent residents on the station, they look like they literally don't have anything for passage. Again, like they are quote unquote the homeless ones, basically, as you could say. Whereas the other ones being shipped off the planet are the elderly, families, children, you'll notice that some of the younger men and young adults are staying because they've been convinced to join up and do their part. Hashtag Battlestar Galactica. But other than that, it'd be like if you want to take care of the kids, you're going to have to leave the station.
Well, goodbye, everybody. Not just kidding.
Yeah. Sorry, pulling my my DM strings down. Just like I can't let you do that. So it's like you can think about it. These kids are in your care until then, but these are the last shuttles leaving out today, and there won't be any more until.
It's fine. I'm good staying here. You get lay of the land anyway.
He kind of shrugs, half expecting it. Some people decide to stay just in case, like they have friends or family reach the station, or they get a call from like one of the other safe stations or safe havens on one of the other planets or whatever. So he kind of just nods and makes his way around elsewhere. What do you do? And it's still you're seeing the scrap man, we'll call him. Hasn't been seen in a while. He's just been, he's out and about skulking. Pretty much just Arrow and Nova. It's pretty much just you two at the moment. Small little ramshackle.
That one soldier really pissed me off. Okay,
Well,
I didn't fight against Dark Spectre specifically, but I still had to defend my school from the goddamn cogs, man. I don't know how we made it through that.
like I said to him, I'm a believer in luck. Believer in fate as well. Something tells me you were meant to be here for some reason. And so was I.
Yeah, feels strange. Strangely enough, I do feel some kind of pull towards this place.
Well,
Honestly, I want to fight back.
you and me both.
This UAE, their bullshit has ruined the lives of my kids. And honestly, I'm gonna make them pay. First chance I get, I'm signing up.
This is what I meant. Something drew you here. If you want to fight, we're exactly where we need to be right now, and unfortunately, they just don't see it yet.
Arrow is just going to hold out his fist and offer it to him.
He's gonna. Noah is gonna laugh and fist bump. Now, can't be dark in the depressing all the time. Fancy a drink?
Oh, absolutely. Wonder what passes for booze here.
It ain't much, but it'll get the job done. I can tell you.
There's a small like concessional quarter that is not this hangar. It's in the main section. It's basically it's the canteen mess hall for the space station. It's quite a big mess hall because this was a military outpost before it turned into what it is now. And it still very much is a military outpost. As you make your way to the mess hall, you see rooms where there's soldiers, checking equipment. You also see researchers and other communications officers just running about with all this kind of stuff. You also end up going past a sealed bulkhead door that is guarded by two soldiers fully decked out that are shooing anyone who gets a little bit too nosy.
Is Meat Boy there?
Huh?
Is the big boy there?
No, he's not there. No, these are just two other soldiers.
Okay.
As you get to the mess hall, then you see various families, other people that just they're milling about. It's kind of like it's weird that it's weird. It's a weird setting in that there's people actually like smiling despite the situation that they're in. So it seems like there's a hint of normality there.
Glad to see some people are trying their best.
Like I said, it ain't much. But when you get enough of the booze in you, you just forget about everything. It's the only normal place I've actually been to in this rock.
Not an asteroid, it's a space station.
Or space station, sorry. Or on this space station.
Oh, an asteroid station would have been cooler.
So I didn't see the picture until after you put it on the chat, so that's on me.
That's fine.
Anyway, goes up to the bar and... What do you got today?
You see an avian-like creature. Is literally a bird man.
Not a Tengu.
Not a tengu. No, he's not a tenga. There are other bird races in the Power Rangers universe.
The leader of SPD was like a chicken man.
Yeah.
Or like an eagle man.
Wing Commander Gutsy Birdie.
And whatever the dude from Dino Charge was,
Yeah.
that was like the Graphite Ranger or whatever.
Yeah, him. But it's also one of the higher members of Safe Haven in the comic books. He's also a Birdman, but he's not a Tenga. Tengu. Whatever you want to call him. But yes, kind of turns around and he just, in answer to the question, he just goes, "We got the same? There's not much, but we have what we have." I don't know if alcohol plays a part in this. Okay, zombie. This is where I look.
I would say maybe conditioning or might, but would be how well you hold your alcohol.
I'm just looking at condition. Impaired, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Depending on how much you drink. Okay. That works. I have the book open on another screen. I have 3 versions. I have the hardback copy, I have the PDF, and I have the one I bought on Roll20. And if I had enough money, I'd have a custom theme song made, but I don't. I only had enough to get the suits done, but that's another story now. So yeah, he just kind of puts down. It's a basic alcoholic drink. You could call it beer, you could call it spirits. All you know is that it does the job. It's not particularly strong. But it's what they got.
I'm gonna roll the conditioning then.
Not for. I'm not gonna make you get pissed off one drink.
Oh yeah. I was like, how strong is it? If it's an amateur one, that's good fun.
No.
A little bit stronger than water.
Hey, feel free to RP. Again, this is your session.
I wanted to actually ask so I can roll another alert and just see if anyone's trying to is near us.
You're right. It's not much, but hey, alcohol's alcohol.
Yeah, you can roll another alertness to see if there's anyone near you. What are you looking for specifically?
I want to tell what Arrow that or what the captain told him.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, go on then. I'm gonna say because you're in a crowded area and there's a lot of people around you. I was going to say that's going to be... What's the difficulty? I can't see the other difficulty. Really annoying.
I just set it to 10.
Yeah, what's the one above that?
Like everything's just been rolling at 10 right now, so that's the default.
Specialize. Okay. I can't... So, I can't... You can't roll higher than... Oh, there's got to be a way. There's got to be one that's higher, right?
You could set it higher, just like the default's 10. And the difficulty is like if you roll below that, you fail.
Yeah, but is there a way to set, like, do you have... Is there an option for you to roll it? Because I would say this would be a little bit more difficult than 10.
Okay, what difficulty were you wanting? Because if it's above a 12, I failed.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
And
asking.
you could,
Like, I can't
you could just
see...
say if we fail or not.
Right, but what I'm asking is, like, when you click your character sheets, is there an option to go above a difficulty 10?
Yes.
Yeah, you can set the
You can actually
difficulty.
set it up.
Well, I could set them?
No,
I-
like you can
I-
tell
I-
us like what difficulty like
Yeah, that's what I was...
difficulty 15.
Yeah, that's what I was
Something like that.
asking. Like, is there, like, what are the options on your sheets? Because I can't see them.
That it's on the roll itself. Like you just say the difficulty we put in, and Like, I'm gonna
sends
roll one
you
as an example.
It sends you a series of prompts.
so like this one is gonna be like I put a difficulty of 15. So let's see if
Okay,
so like that one will be a failure basically. So like you just say the difficulty, and we'll be able to roll from there.
okay, and I'm assuming the difficulty goes up to a D20 then, reading this correct.
Yes.
Right, okay, that makes more sense. I thought it was like a... I thought it worked like Cthulhu, in which it was hard, normal, hard, or extreme. Okay.
I think it goes up to at least up to 30. Well, like you can add specialization dice, so like you can add a D, be a D2, D4, D8, D10.
Yeah, that's like for the shift up and shift down, though. That's that, Welcome to the learning part of the campaign.
Hey, this is why we're doing this stuff here, so we can all learn this stuff because I didn't know before this either.
Distance scores.
So, what would you think is a fair difficulty for me seeing if this? Because if that's depending on like what I get is what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, 1 sec, I'm just trying to figure this out. 'Cause it would be a lot easier if it was a flat. If it went from gaining skills.
By the way, not to take away from this, but I don't know, are we in Roll20 supposed to be, are the players supposed to be on the map with the space station?
Yes.
Because it's not for me. I think you need to go into the tabs and actually like manually drag the...
I'm silly. My bad.
That's why
I wasn't gonna say anything, but...
It's my first time.
That's why I called it an asteroid instead of a spaceship, because I didn't see that picture until you put it on.
Right, okay, I'm an idiot. Okay. Hi, B.
There we
Also,
go.
I
Now
haven't been able to hear the music, so I don't know if I need to refresh or not.
It's I think purposely low.
Yeah, I made it purposely. I mean, I can hear it, but it's literally just there for ambience effect.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, so we're not having to compete over it.
Okay. I'm gonna have to try and figure out this difficulty setting. For the time being, I guess I will. I can set the difficulty. I can't find anything in the fucking table of contents because, of course, that would be too easy.
I think we're just gonna have to roll it as you tell us the difficulty number and we roll for that.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
I know it doesn't have like as big of like a mystery factor as like D&D would, but I think that's just what we're gonna have to roll with going forward. I mean, you can also talk to Probate too, because he might know better than any of us.
Yeah, I might ask him about that if he's got the time. I think I've completely misinterpreted it. All right, we'll roll with it for now. Yeah, I'll say just for the sake of prosperity, you passed that one. There's enough chatter and chit chat in the mess hall that you won't be easily overheard.
So, the good thing about this place is that news does tend to travel. Apparently, they're actually going to start up their own type of ranger program.
Really now?
I can't speak on its certainty, but that's what the captain was telling me when she pulled me aside.
Well, here's hoping they're up to snuff. And here's hoping that Rangers are anybody but meathead.
Speaking from personal experience, he wouldn't have lasted if he was. Because one of the things you need to do as a ranger from my time in KO35 is be able to talk or is able to calm people down. Not give orders, give suggestions.
Right. I'd heard stories, and the Rangers are a symbol of hope that things can and will get better.
Why do you think I hold them in such high regard? I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for the one that saved me.
Yeah, I didn't exactly have anyone there at the time. Had to make my own luck, but I just kept thinking of what Astro Silver would do.
Funny you mention him. He's exactly who I was talking about.
No kidding! Astro Silver saved you.
Yes.
Holy cow, that is so cool!
He starts
Yeah.
laughing.
And now Arrow is has a little bit of hero worship around you.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a cool friend. Just the fact that he did save me. We were like, my family and I were trapped in our house. It was on fire. We couldn't escape from the front. Luckily, he blew up the side of the wall and got us out. Quite harrowing at the time, I can assure you. But that's why I'm doing I'm still here. But this is actually true. That I want him.
As you've been sat there, time has passed. The family, the people have come in and come out like that. Marika, you're actually now off duty, and you enter the mess hall. You instantly see Nova and Arrow sitting at the bar. They've been drinking, but not too heavily.
She'll kind of like walk up. She won't immediately take a seat like next to one of them, but she'll take a seat kind of like not quite opposite end of the bar, but far enough over where like she's visible, but not like directly in like conversation range.
Oh, by the way, Twitch, page 89, determine difficulty.
Thank you. I don't know where that is on the.
It'd be page 80, 88 or 90 if you're going on the PDF.
No, I'm on the Roll20 at the moment. What chapter is it under?
Chapter 6, Essence Scores and Skills should be under the umbrella of using skills.
But the Roll20 will be easy to navigate. It's actually more worsely put together than the actual book. So, above game, and Renegade Studios have put their hands up to this. They said, "We are very sorry. The printing of the hardcover of the Power Rangers tabletop game was not great. The wording is terrible. We apologize. Future publications will be fixed, as well as their Transformers and G.I. Joe books." But they fully went on record, especially when they were at one of the tabletop conventions. The guy was like, "Yeah, we fucked up. Sorry. We understand how it's a little bit confusing, but once you wrap your head around it, you should be fine." Determining.
Appreciate your patience, guys.
Yes, especially for me. What did you say it was?
Chapter 6, Essence Scores and Skills, under the umbrella of using skills. It is step 4, determine difficulty.
You won't believe this, but in the Roll20, it's not fucking labeled as that. Essence, Scores, and Skills. There it is. Continue on, I'm just gonna go looking.
Yeah, she'll kind of like just take a seat, like not directly like beside one of them, but kind of like opposite end of the bar. But like they can see her, but she's not within like, close contact range.
As you make your way over, some of the other soldiers and security kind of like nod at you, whatnot. And they say, "Captain."
She'll probably order nothing too stiff, but probably like something like a little bit like slightly above average strength.
He kind of reaches over. He gives you like some of the other stuff, which is again reserved for the non-civvies. For like the pours you out a drink. And can again kind of puts himself back to busy and things. I found it! Haha! Thank you.
Huzzah!
No, he's not in this game.
Yeah. Okay, right. Yeah. Believe it or not, I don't think I think I might have glossed over this in the fucking book. Okay, I get it. Yeah, all right. Okay. I see where I misinterpreted it. Limited difficulty for every skill share the GM, blah 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 blah. Represented by diff, not to be confused with GIF. The more difficult the task, the higher is the diff. Okay, I understand. Okay. So it kind of works like Call of Cthulhu, except not. Alright, cool. There we go. Awesome. Alright, back to the story. So yeah, he kind of like, and they get kind of busies themselves like that. Do you talk to anyone, or?
Well, before he, assuming I see Nova, before he kind of like goes about his business, I'll kind of like pull the barkeep like in a little bit more and just kind of point to Nova and just kind of like very like quietly say, his next round is on me, and he'll like throw down like whatever the price of Nova's drink was. She'll just throw down whatever it was.
The bartender kind of like looks at you, is like, oh, that's kind of, you military types don't usually do that kind of stuff. But he kind of shrug, it's not his place to stay. He takes up. I don't have a currency. It's not gonna.
Whatever.
Just call them credits.
Yeah, credits is probably the best
The idea
thing.
is that
On standard credit.
you have
Yeah.
will be credit for the universal currency.
Yeah, we'll call that. Call it
Yeah,
that.
Like credits are, I usually call them units or credits. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna make my own. They're called Zomguts.
Zombie guts.
Spent XOMGUTS. No, yeah, we'll go with credits.
I'll pay you 10 quid.
Hey, that's an actual unit of money I'll have, £10 sterling.
Like,
So he kind of just does it like that, and again goes back over to where Nova and Aero are. Kind of puts down another 2 drinks in front of you, and then just says, I said, compliments to the captain, and kind of like nods his head over at. I'm gonna need to try and remember these names.
Marika.
Yeah. I'm gonna forget a lot until it gets into my head, because again, I'm trying to multitask here.
Hey, I'm terrible with names too. I feel you.
Compliments to the captain. What's their name? Gobshite the Merciless. I don't know. Yeah, and again, he just goes back off and he does his doing his thing.
Arrow is going to give Nova, not Nova, Marika a nod and appreciative kind smile, and Ray raises his glass towards her.
I was going to do the same.
I mean, she's like, it looks like she hasn't acknowledged it, but she'll like, without looking at them, just kind of like raise her glass.
As you are doing, as you're partaking in this drink, in walks Meathead.
Oh boy.
He walks in, he's flanked by another dude, and a kid bumps into him. There's a couple, there's a family, like that. It is what it is, like that. And a group of kids are playing, and one of them runs into him, and he kind of like shoves the kid out of the way.
Like super
No,
hard,
no,
or
not like super aggressive, but like he's just like, you know, watch where you're going, brat. You know, he kind of does that.
Instantly,
And
I think both.
And sorry, he does that. He kind of like shows the kid like that, and like, you know, the kid says something, and he kind of just, you know, he's like, "Get the hell out of here, brat!" And the mother comes over. It's like, "I'm so sorry," blah 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 blah. You know, he's being a bit of a dick, but you know, he's basically swinging. He's basically going, "Hey, look, I'm a member of the military. I'm gonna swing my dick around and blah blah blah." He's not. Marika,
Arrow is actually going to grab his drink and go over to him.
do I see that?
I mean,
he's probably like right next to me, so.
yeah, I mean, it's you know, it was loud enough to know like that. Marika, you would know that this guy's like, he's not a private, he's like a corporal. You know, he likes to think he's big, he's more than he is. Rank
Do I
wise.
outrank him?
Oh yeah, you outrank him by miles.
She's gonna see Arrow try to like step towards the guy, and she's just gonna put her hand up.
Arrow, do you resist this?
I will, I'm going to maybe do an insight check.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's just default 10 difficulty.
Yeah.
For what are your intentions, zombie?
It's more like she knows that if you try something, he's probably going to start shit, and she doesn't want that to happen to you. Also, I mean, like, I don't want to say, like, directly above game, yes, she outranks him, but that would be something like, if you can get the sense that, like, I'm probably a higher rank than him, that'd probably be determined by the role.
So
It's kind of a like, no, let me take care of it.
Yeah, I'd say that's a difficulty 10.
Oh, he doesn't see it. He doesn't understand it.
He doesn't understand, so yeah, I guess
It's gonna play out. So, Arrow walks over to Meathead with his drink. Yeah, I understand. Dealing with kids all day is a big pain in the ass here. Have a drink. On you! And he's just going to dump his drink across over Meathead's face.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, sorry. You seemed a little heated, and I just wanted to cool you off.
Note to self.
Marika just immediately slaps her head.
I'm gonna have to note to self.
Actually,
I'm gonna
like,
have to get
audibly groans.
yeah. I'm gonna have to get emergency character sheets because I don't have a character sheet for this guy.
It's more like the same roleplay type of thing.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be because this was supposed to be random jerk who's just like, well, I didn't expect.
I mean, theater of the mind.
Yeah, theater of the mind. So as you do that, like the guys round him kind of like grab you.
I'm assuming, like, at this point, like, both Nova and Marika both look at him.
Like everyone
Just
can
suck.
see this happening. Like everyone can see this happening. Like it's not
But, like,
subtle.
In terms of both of us, like, we just both sigh, down our drink, and then walk over.
I mean, if you want
Marika
it,
would look at you, Nova, and shake her head,
You're
and
all
then
supposed
and then she'll start walking over.
You're all supposed to be soldiers. You're supposed to inspire the people around you, not tower over them.
this you're saying this whilst being held by two guys or being like shut. Like, you know, they're trying to. Yeah, whereas Meathead, he's literally about to like grab you by the scruffy and like, you know, that classic. He's gonna grab you by your collar and like try and lift you up type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Although I think your character and him are probably similar sizes. Your dude's quite big, right?
Yeah, he's a tall dude.
I was gonna say you're a big boy. It's your not a size thing on you.
No, they didn't really put in like a size thing.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you were very much going for the tall boy type thing. Yeah, I'd say like you're about the same size, but he's definitely a lot thicker than you. Marika, what do he looks like he's literally about to like attack Arrow.
Marika's gonna stand right in the middle, right in front of him, and right in front of Arrow, and right between Arrow and him. Look this guy dead in the eyes, hold up her captain badge, and just very sternly say, "Let him go."
I wouldn't say you have a badge, but like,
well,
essentially you're pulling. Like he'll know who you are.
I am pulling rank on this motherfucker.
Yeah, but you're pulling rank, and like as soon as that happens, like as much as these guys like. You do that, and like everything's kind of like that. You also see like a couple of like security guards and soldiers you know who are like quite close to you in your like unit. Who are getting ready because they also know that this guy likes to cause a bit of. Oh, sorry. This guy, you know, he does cause a bit of issues. He's a good soldier. He's just really jaded. You know, like he's battle hardened. He's like
he's basically our Dr. House essentially.
Yeah, I would say
he's
that.
good at his job,
actually.
but he's an asshole.
Yeah, good comparison actually. And like you know, him and like the other like things where they kind of look around. He's like he really wants to like say something, but he knows he can't, so he's kind of like. He's kind of like shrugs it off and just he's like, whatever. I'm gonna stick around here anyway. Come on, boys. There's some good stuff back in my quarters. And he like kind of leaves, walks out, and like everyone's kind of looking like there's like this awkward silence.
Marika's just gonna yell out, keep moving along. Nothing to see here.
As you were, yeah.
Yeah, as you were.
As that happens, the kids that you know bumped into him in the family, they come over to you, Arrow, and they were like, they express gratitude. It's like, thank you very much. You know, you didn't have to do that. And then of course they turn to you, Marika, and like they say, oh, thank you.
Yeah, she'll just kind of like wave it off, not like dismissingly, but just kind of be like, he's. Trust me, you're not the first person that's had issue with him. And then she's gonna turn around and look at Arrow. Next time, let me handle it.
Arrow will hold up his hands. Fair enough.
I can tell you from experience, you might be his size, but you don't have his skill.
Like, at this point, like, Noah would have been walking over with as soon as he heard that. Hey, sorry about that, Captain.
It's fine. Like I said, won't be the first person causing trouble for him. Won't be the last. I can pull rank on him all I want, but it's not gonna, you know, make him lose his job because he's just that good at it.
As this is happening, you see Professor Daxian enter. He like comes around. He spots you, Marika. He comes over. Ah, Captain, just what I wanted to see. We've made.
Yeah, she'll kind of like give the other two a bit of a not like a half salute, half nod, and just kind of like start walking over towards the scientist.
There's more. He kind of just like bumbled in after you. He's wearing like. He walks in like he looks like he's just come out of a science experiment sort of thing. He's like got like magnified glasses on. He's like, he lets it up. He's just like, there's been progress made on. Progress has been made. We may have other candidates, but that's not that. I wanted to show you something. A transmission.
Alright, and she'll like kind of like, you're obviously not gonna have this happen around civilians. She'll kind of like usher him to like take her back to whatever.
Yeah. Arrow and Nova. Do you decide to follow?
Hell yeah, I do.
Hell yeah.
You're giving me the option? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Stealth checks, please.
Infiltration.
Infiltration. Yeah. Difficulty again. I'll say 10.
Should I roll something to notice them?
Yeah, you can. Alertness at. I would say alertness 15 for you. Nova, you trip over.
Oh, okay, that's a 1.
It's a fumble. Okay.
That's a 13.
Actually, in
Okay.
fairness, like Nova would have heard that and been like,
Hey,
he wants to help. He doesn't care if he wasn't quote unquote chosen.
yeah.
Well, I don't see shit.
And that's a fumble. So, this is a good time to talk about story points. So, every player has a pool of story points, what I can tell. Was it collective?
Oh, by the way, that is a critical success.
Yes, it is. Arrow, you are now invisible. You can't be seen. In fact, you faded out of existence. No. So, what do I do here? Marika, you're being led out by the professor anyway. So just in a fumble doesn't necessarily mean something bad's going to happen. It's not like a crit failure.
I just don't see shit.
Yeah, you just see, and in the same that Nova can be sneaky here, but it is, it's whatever. But story points are something that can change the tide of the game. If I've read correctly, I believe each player has a pool of story points. The story points, the Great Equalizer. Against system moments, all about a create and it was story points. Team of player characters keeps track of a pool. So the player characters have a pool of story points, and I, as the game master, have a pool of story points. Although mine don't fill up quite as fast as theirs. At the beginning of every major scene, I get a story point and the players get a story point, so you guys already have one in the pool. And throughout the story, I can decide, if they get it, I can award them a story point if I think something cool, they did something cool. So it could happen in battle, or like a really good RP section, a bit of storytelling, whatever. But, if I've read that correctly...
Story points are basically legalized rule of cool.
Yeah, basically, and...
It's kind of like inspiration.
I think if you get a skill test fumble, you get to add one to... Yeah, skill test fumbles. You get to add a story point to the pool, so you have 3 story points. Okay, so, yeah, Nova, you... instantly, you get seen. Walking out, you trip over a couple of things. Whatever.
I'd like to have it known that like Noah wasn't really trying to like be stealthy. He was just like, hey, you know what? Like, she mentioned to him that they might be doing something. He heard the professor outright say something about, or say something that correlated to that. He wants to see what's going on.
Yeah. Adding to the fact that Arrow got a critical success, I'm going to say that as you stumble along, he kind of like lifts you up and he's like, oh, you've had too much to drink, sort of type deal. And he's leading you out of the mess hall back to the living quarters, but he's like, he's going to help you, like, still follow Marika and the professor. Again, Marika, you're like too focused on what the transmissions said.
I like to think it's more like being hurried, so like she's not paying attention because he's just throwing all this
Yeah.
at her, like, oh, look at this, and
Yeah,
she's just like,
yeah. So as you go through the corridor, you know, you're being rushed onto the corridor. You get to the secure bulkhead door, at which the professor swipes a card and says, "One moment, please. I must go like that." Aero and Nova, you are around the corner, or something like that. As he goes in, one of the guards follows the professor, which is protocol.
Am I standing outside, I'm guessing?
Yeah, you're standing outside. A Balkan skull head door? No. Not a Balkan. There are no Balkan skulls in this game yet.
I mean, meatheads are bulk.
I mean, he could be. But, you know, he might not be around long enough. We'll see what happens. Yeah, he goes in. He comes out with like a little like holographic projector type deal, like a communicator. Do you know like those like holo communicators from Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
one of them.
You want to know, but you're my only hope.
Oh, yeah. He kind of goes, yes. Here. Follow me. For an Edenite, which is what the people of Edenoi are called, he's a bit frantic. Edenites are known for their calm and center, but this guy seems a bit like overstimulated for an Edenite.
He's very chaotic, you could say.
Yeah, very chaotic. And as he played like that, he kind of like stops you in the middle of the. Again, you round a couple of corners like that, and as soon as he gets the hologram to work, he kind of like puts up Aero Nova again. You're just out of sight to where you can hear. He presses the button like that, and a holographic image of the Phantom Ranger shows up. And he's and thus, you know, it goes as thus. He says, "Professor Daxon, I have a report from the planet Edenoi. Unfortunately, it's fallen to the forces of Lord God, I forgot that. I just remembered the main antagonist from the Masked Rider series is the same fucking name as Lord Draken.
Yep, that's where they got it from.
I can't believe I never put that together. Fuck, I'm gonna have to change who it was.
No, just say Lord Dragon. I mean,
Just say Shadow Moon.
Yeah, I guess I can.
the Shadow Moon Empire. I think that's what they were called.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him the Empire though.
I mean, Shadow Moon. It was the main antagonist
Of Kamen Rider Black RX, right?
of Black, but like it just is a.
Wow, I can't believe I never put that together. That's. Crap, they even mention it in the fucking Shattered Grid comic books. I remember it now. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Edenoi has fallen. Where was I? Yeah. Edenoi has fallen to the Shadaloo Empire. Forces of the Shadaloo Empire.
Shadaloo?
Yeah, Shadaloo. That's Sentai, right?
No, that Shadaloo is Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm sticking with it. Shadaloo.
Yeah.
Well, Ryu is a Power Ranger. Just saying.
Yeah.
I have his power coin in my pocket, or not in my pocket, but in my room.
Yeah. He was, yeah, and Chun-Li is the Crimson Phoenix Ranger. Crimson Phoenix, Cobalt, whatever. Yeah, so Shadaloo, the forces of the Shadaloo Empire have taken over Edenoi. There is no sign of the king, and Prince Dex has gone missing. However, he asked me to transmit this final data to you. And then goes the hologram then switches, and what pops up is now let's see if I prepared this right, which I haven't. Fantastic. Okay, so my players aren't going to be able to see this, but you will be able to see it on stream. No, that's not what I want to do. OBS, please cooperate. What pops up is a whole bunch of blueprints for like a blaster pistol, sword, and more specifically a wrist-mounted bracer. And then so if on stream, there it is, that's the art for Power Rangers Cyber Strike. And the suit for the Power Rangers Cyber Strike. This was the missing piece of the data that the professor was missing. The other ones were to, finalize this project. The scientists on Edenoi had managed to put this together, and as the by the way, I will say this like that, art done by my good friend Dynamo Tom. He draws a whole bunch of tokusatsu stuff. He's massive on Kamen Rider. Check out his Deviant art. I'll find a link. I'll get the link to his Twitter right now.
In game, like, do Nova and Arrow see this? Like, is that get projected or something?
Are we Scooby Dooing our heads around
Yes.
the doorway?
Yes. 100%. Friend. But yeah, that's the that and a whole bunch of like other blueprints and stuff come across. And the professor turns to you, Marika, and says, This is the missing key. And then he kind of stops as the levity of the gravity of the situation kind of hits him. And he says, although, wish my nephew and my brother had not paid the price.
Sorry for your loss.
No loss. My brother may be gone, but my nephew, he is the masked rider. He will not have fallen so easily.
She's taken aback by that.
And as he said, he kind of like continues walking off. And then, I must report this to Commander Kruger and the others. I must. And he kind of like he hurries along.
She's actually gonna follow him.
Arrow, Nova, do you pursue?
Yes.
Yes.
As this happens, and you get to the main door, elevator that's going to the command center, all of a sudden an alarm starts blaring throughout the entire space station. And then Commander Kruger's voice comes over the tannoy. All stations, prepare for combat. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. We are being assaulted from all sides. There is infiltration. I repeat, this is not a drill. Please evacuate the civilians. And all this kind of stuff like that. And all of a sudden, like, the station just kind of rocks. That's the shake.
Upon hearing that we'll look at Arrow. Well, let's see if you talk as big of a game as you go. Captain!
She turns around immediately, sees both of them.
You wanted my help? Let me show you that I'm good to my word.
She's gonna nod and she's gonna look at Arrow and say, do you feel the same?
Absolutely. I'm here to bring hope to the people.
And then she's gonna look at the professor and say, I think we found our team.
Professor, he doesn't really acknowledge what you just said, but he's like, it's must go down, and then he kind of like stops, looks at you, and he's just like, even like the hangar. So, and then he kind of looks at Nova and says, sorry, he kind of looks at the three of us and says, that's where that's where the case, I need the case. And Nova, you will remember that in the hangar that your living quarter is in, there's also a room where a lot of equipment is stored. So because that was like a combat hangar, that's where like a lot of the other freight, like the combat ships and whatnot was set there, and it's also where a lot of like the professors and stuff would do a lot of other things with the soldiers and whatnot. And he's like, we have to get the case.
You get to safety. We'll take care of it. What does it look like? And she'll
No,
just
no,
start
no.
like asking him questions.
And like, no, my handprint, it's bio locked to me. I have to get there.
Then we'll cover you.
Awesome.
And she's just gonna look at Nova, and she's gonna look at Arrow and kind of nod, and she's gonna look at
Nova
And
nods
she's-
back.
and she's gonna look at the professor and say, do you know where we can get them even just a basic blaster pistol?
There should be some in the room at the hangar.
She'll nod and kind of just basically motion for the other two of them to follow. And I'm assuming I have my equipment on me.
Yeah, you have
probably, or
your
did I leave it back at the-
you don't have like your full equipment, but you have what is basically your officer's gear, I guess. Like
So I probably have a sidearm or whatever on
Yeah,
me.
you've got like a standard pistol, like standard blaster pistol. For all intents and purposes, we're going to make them look like the Chrono Blasters.
Yep. She'll pull her blaster out and just kind of look at all of them and just say, I've got everybody covered. Let's get there.
So as this alarm is blaring, and it's you see civilians being evacuated through the corridors. They're being shouted like that. There's soldiers in full gear. You actually see Meathead, doing his job. Like he's got a rifle out. He's got like that. He's like running to his station. That again, the space station then gets blasted again, and from one of the windows, you actually see some Machine Empire.
I was expecting it to be those assholes.
Yep, some Machine Empire spaceships. In combat with like other outlying combat ships that that defend the station and whatnot.
Cogs.
Yes, the Machine Empire.
It's not just the Machine Empire though. There are other ones spattered in and around. You're pretty sure you see some sort of like insect creatures as well.
Stingwingers?
Correct.
Oh,
but you wouldn't know that.
Like above game. Oh, we're bringing in the
Lost Galaxy.
the Lost Galaxy guys.
I mean, I'm going. Like I said, I'm going. The ships were called Quadrifighters. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm basically going to be using a lot of like the grunts and stuff, but again, I'm limited to what the compendium gives me. But yeah, you see a couple of these stuff like that, and as you note that all civilians have been evacuated from all of the living quarter areas. That gets announced by that, but what comes through next is that a lot of the hangars have been infiltrated, and there are now, as I switch you over to this, can you all see?
Yes, we have a map.
Yes.
Holy shit.
I made this map. I'm quite proud of it. So as you can see, here's the living quarters where you guys were staying. Look, have a look at that. There's that. There's 2 ships, and you'll note that there are some security guards there, but also there's a whole bunch of putties. Bog standard clay brains. And what seems to be leading them is this big, kind of like gnarled looking putty. Technically he's called a putty patroller changeling, but he looks like he's like 3 or 4 of them mashed into one. And he's like this big golem looking creature, and you guys appear here, which is where the elevator thing is. This is the room where you need to get to.
So right there.
Yes. So if you want to just drop you guys onto the map. Yes. I don't have a token.
Oh God, he's so thick.
That is a wide boy.
Look at this JoJo looking motherfucker.
Ah, I see you are approaching me.
Yes. Let me.
It's probably worth noting I'd be probably at the front, or at least trying to guard as much of the sides as possible.
I'm gonna use this as for the professor just for now. I don't have a token for him. Oh, he's there. I think the battle map is as it should be.
Yep, like I think that's perfect actually.
Yeah. 75. Did I say 75 feet? Yeah, that's about right actually, because it's quite big. But yeah, you see all this. The security guards are locked in a fight. And that is where we are going to end the session for today, for tonight even.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you said 10 o'clock. We got it done at 10 o'clock.
Right up the dot. Look at that.
Yeah, I like to stick to my times. Yeah,
That was fun. Like
Mhm.
we didn't do that much in terms of like story, but we got a lot done in terms of like storytelling, which is what I appreciate.
yeah. I mean, like this is the kind of session that normally you do off stream or after that, which is why it's called Session 0. Which to a lot of people, Session 0 doesn't. You don't do any role playing. Session 0 is building the characters from scratch, but I don't think it should be that. But yeah, I just wanted to establish, what it is, what it was. Yeah, I hope whoever has been following along in the chat enjoyed. This is the part of the show where I would play the theme, but I don't have one.
It's inserts the Timmy's dad gif.
Yeah, this is where I would play my custom Power Rangers theme if I had one. But I'm not rich and I don't make music. I was able to get that art done by my friend, who wanted to give me mates rates, but I was like, no, that's your living. I'm gonna pay. But yeah, please do check out his stuff. He does take commissions. He's really good at what he's very fucking talented. But yeah, what did you guys think? And how did I do?
It was solid.
You did pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing you got to realize is that yes, we've all been in different campaigns before, but this is the first time where we're all using this particular this particular module.
System.
So it's like it's growing pains.
It's a really well put together system. The Essence 20 system, I find, I'm like, this is really good. Like in of itself, it's very well built, especially for first time players. The problem is, and this is what a lot of people have said. The problem is literally the wording of the book.
Yes.
It's just how
As
it was
somebody
put
who
together.
tried to read that book, yeah, it wasn't the best.
No, exactly, and it's like, and they're like, and again, like they sent emails out. They said they're like, look, we're sorry, that's on us, But it is a very well put together system. Like once you understand it, it's like that. And again, of course, I misinterpreted a couple of things, like the difficulty setting, like that. But yeah, that's it. So the plan is, to do this every Thursday at the same time, 7 o'clock start. Given if players can make it like that, that is the plan. This has been a project I've been wanting to do for a while. I've always wanted to DM my own campaign, and as soon as I found out there was a Power Rangers module coming out, I was like, well, I must. Giant man child.
Preaching to the choir.
Yeah, and again, thanks to Cryptic, Luna, and Graven / Chocolate Zombie for being here, for agreeing to play. Yes, I'm sticking with a team of 3 Rangers to start because it's going to allow me to learn before I get a bigger group.
We're Sun Vulcaning it.
Yeah, Sun Vulcan,
Sun
Power Rangers
Vulcan,
Ninja
like
Storm.
I was gonna say, like the first 5 episodes of Dino Thunder.
Yeah, but like
I think
it's team of 3. It's a team of 3 for now. Zords, I'm gonna put it out there. Don't think about them at the moment. I don't know what I'm gonna do for that. That's an entirely different thing completely.
At the moment, we're just common ridering it, being them at regular size.
Yeah, at the moment. Which is kind of what I've tailored my campaign to be, because this isn't, again, I'm not running this like, oh, it's going to be the weekly Power Rangers, like, there's, oh no, the school monster is a cactus, and now it's poisoning the waterhole, that kind of shit. And then he grows to big size, and then they Zord it. It's going to be more of like an overarching type deal. Because if you couldn't tell from the tone, it's a little bit darker.
It's a little bit darker than Monster of the Week.
Yeah. And like I said, it's heavily inspired by the events are actually very heavily inspired by Shattered Grid. If you haven't read that, that is the alternate version of Tommy Oliver, who became Lord Draken, and literally took over his world, which is an alternate timeline / whatever. But yeah, where can they find you guys? Chill thyself.
You can find me at twitch.tv/cryptic_Cyogen. I typically stream Saturday nights at 8 o'clock Central. My wrestling EFED, World Domination Wrestling. But as we're all rebuilding, we're on a bit of a hiatus. 1, 2, 3, DeLuna, where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at DLuna1338, or basically anywhere you'd want to try to find me at DeLuna13. I am currently job hunting, and if I get the place I want to go, I will actually be able to restart a stream again because my internet will be able to take it. Like, unfortunately, I've in my own tests here at my current location, I can't stream. But I'm hoping that that'll change soon.
Lee Zombie?
Hi, you can find me on Twitter at ChocoZombie101. You can find me on Twitch at ChocoZombie101, usually in chat. On Tuesdays, you can find me over on twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn for Cult of Personality, our playthrough of the Tomb of Annihilation campaign setting along with DeLuna. And you can find me here on Thursdays.
Cult of Personality is a fantastic name.
Yeah, it was
Look
my
in
idea.
my eyes, what do you see?
Fucking
Love
dinosaur!
I don't see. I don't remember. I don't even remember what the original one was we came up with. Deluna maybe remembers, but as soon
I
as
don't
like
remember
everybody,
because
as soon as everybody was like, "Yeah, that name sounds okay," I just blurted out "Children Personality," and that's what we went with.
That's great. And as
no,
always,
because it's like you have to go with the pun if you can.
yeah. And as always, you can find me right here at twitch.tv/Twitch the person. I know it says this. I know on my thanks page it's a Facebook. I very, very rarely use it. You can find me over on Twitter. I also run NNPW, or I would be if 2K22 would fucking cooperate. That runs every Friday at the same time as this. So that's a 7 o'clock. I try to start it at either 6:30, 7 o'clock. Sometimes at 6 if I'm lucky. And like I said, I too am also going through a rebuild of that, as you all know, and because we are all four of us part of the MNW community. That's where our EFET is born from. You can check out MNW on twitch.tv/Dr. Caliban and twitch.tv/the Edward Bosco. And like I said, hopefully I'll have NNPW up and running if you are a fan of that. And I believe, Zombie, you're the only one that's on the show, right?
I think out of everybody here, I am potentially.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if Cryptic or Doluna have characters on the show.
No, but I've got Hartley's on your show.
Hartley is on my show, yeah. Hartley
And
is.
I'm always hanging out with him.
Me and Hartley are part of Chaos Factory. # Chaos Factory for life.
Chaos Factory for life.
Indeed, yeah. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Thank you very much for playing 2-3. Thanks for taking a chance. And we will see you all, hopefully, fingers crossed, if nothing catastrophic goes wrong. It's the 18th. That's 2 days before the show.
Yeah.
I don't have anything planned.
If we want to raid anybody, I have currently Farting Tart and Cosmicon.
Yeah, I did see. I believe they are also doing D. What?
Cosmic is, yes.
Uh, lot of very high rank. Also got. You know what? I'll do Tart. I haven't raided Tart in a while. In fact, I haven't raided anyone in a while because I haven't fucking streamed in a while. I've been going through it. If it wasn't known, I guess I should explain this on stream. I'm due to go in for back surgery. IRL, I am a professional wrestler. Or at least I try to be. And unfortunately, I sustained an injury in training during the pandemic. That has left my left leg less than cooperative. In which that I don't have feeling on one side of it. So I've been told I have to go in for back surgery. And I've just been dealing with that on top of other things.
You've got this, man.
Yeah, I fucking hope so. Unfortunately, I don't know when I'm going in for the surgery, and I will give you the actual quote. It could be any time from now to whenever. I love you, NHS. I really do. But that was not fucking helpful. In the slightest.
Whenever we can find a surgeon that specializes in back surgery, we'll let you know.
I get why they say it. If you follow UK politics, you'll know that our health service has been ground into the fucking mud by. I'm procrastinating now, so let's all go raid the Doge. If you don't know, Farting Tart is a VTuber.
A nice fluffy boy.
Yes, he is.
You know, Dinsey Man, the mentor was a dog.
Yeah, it was. And of course, in Power Rangers SPD, Doggy Kruger.
But completely honestly, when you said that Kruger's there, I'm like, oh, I could have some fun with him.
Yeah, it's not the Kruger. Like I said, I had the prefix that it was not the Kruger you knew. It was a very young Kruger. And in this universe, Grum doesn't exist.
It's like, he's a younger Kruger. So he's gonna find it. Like, this is why he's able to handle Jag. He's able to handle Nova.
Yeah. Once again,
That's how
guys.
to play.
Grump was technically an American creation. He didn't exist in the Sentai.
Yeah, no, he didn't. Which is why I was like, I'm able to take. Like, yeah, I can use a young doggy crew. In race me age. That was them. Procrastinating now. Once I had a tart, thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back next week for Power Rangers Cyber Strike. Thank you very much, and we will see.
And that'll be our A message. Power Rangers Cyber Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go Cyber Strike.
Go Cyber Strike.
Bye.
Bye.